when you're in the middle of your busyness, that you take the time to call your family, your friends, grab your kids, and just tell them you love them. But good morning, guys. Welcome back to the farm. It is a beautiful day. No rain in the forecast, thank goodness. Hopefully this week we'll be able to get this yard mowed. Breakfast has been served for most of the animals. I've got one group still we need to get out, but as we head back to them, let's check out the piglets, of course. Geez, that's pretty sad when you can't even stand up to eat, you lazy bums. You can't even stand up and eat that? But anyway, they are doing well. Here is Barb's group. Same thing, they have eaten and have crashed while Mom is finishing up. And then of course Delilah, still working on her pile, and the babies thinking they need to eat all the time as well. But today is not about the piglets. Today we've got a group of chickens hiding in a forest over here that need to be moved. So I went around and fed everybody and saved them for last, because it's obviously a lot easier to move them when they're in their house than when they are out and about trying to herd cats. So if you can see it behind the tall grass here, it is time to move these chickens. These are the Bielefelders. Been in here a little longer than they should be, so we are going to move them. I'm gonna pick up the fences and probably move them right over here. We have a path going across to the other side of the property right here, so I don't want to set them in front of there, but I still want them to have the trees in the afternoon. I've already got this part mowed a little while ago, so we're gonna move them over here, and we need to get the pigs moved. We've got a couple things that have been pressing that I have not finished up yet. So today, since it's beautiful and not raining, we're gonna get some jobs done. So first things first, we wanna get those chickens out of that chicken tractor. So let's get the fences moved and the chickens moved across. Okay, still the easiest way to move a whole flock of birds with these mobile chicken coops. I'm sure these chickens are ready to come out. Like I said before, these are the Bielefelders. They have been doing great, so they're gonna be able to get in here and rustle up all this mowed grass, pick any bugs, grubs, anything that they need off of this new spot. So they have been doing very well as far as laying. Just got their water, got their feeders back here. They're in full sun right now, but it won't be long till the shade comes across and they are able to get in the shade where they need or want to be. So, but they have been doing well laying. They've actually been laying larger eggs than the Australorps. We're getting a few more Australorp eggs, but we've got a few more Australorp hens. But really do like the Bielefelders. Not a very high production layer, but if you're just wanting a nice homestead chicken that is laying good eggs and pretty large eggs, it's a pretty large chicken too, these are a great choice. We do like them. Very docile roosters. Counting down those days, we still have not been attacked by a Bielefelder rooster, so that is a good thing. We'll go over here since we're talking about chickens and check out the Australorps really quick. They're just on the other side of this fence. But they're doing well too. You remember we've had the Bielefelders before. We got rid of them, purchased them again just because I do really like them. And the Australorps is the first time we've had Australorps on the farm. And they are larger than I expected. But they are laying some good eggs too. So they're over here. You can see they kind of need to be moved as well. That is coming up this week. This rain has really put us behind schedule on getting things done around here, but the animals are healthy, happy, fed, safe, and so that is okay. We'll try to get a little closer. These ones are not quite as friendly. They're not mean by any means, but you can see as I walk towards them, they head away. Obviously, if you spend a lot more time in here with them, they're gonna get used to you, but we just kind of let them do their own thing. We want them to kind of be a little leery, so when things come in here, they're not just sitting ducks. If a hawk or something comes in, they're gonna be running, not just going up to say hi to the hawk. So anyway, those are our two chicken groups, two new chicken groups. We've got the sex links in the back. But now, let's go check out this project we've got going on next. Now that everyone's out and fed, I'm gonna actually go in and eat. But once I'm done eating, the bush hog broke a weld. So I'm gonna try to get out here with my zero turn and get this mowed down here, because this is where I'm gonna bring these pigs right here. This is Henry, Betty White. Oh, I can't think of the other pig's name. That's what happens when Jamie's not out here. Hey, Henry, you been in the wallow? Their spot is not bad, but the problem is when it rains, this barn is a little lower than we had thought when we put it here. So I am gonna move them. I'm gonna move them right here in this spot where the chickens were. They'll move to this stall. This stall is normally dry. You're not gonna be able to see this, but when it rains, the water comes in here. Well, yeah, you can see it, and gets this stall wet. So I'm gonna bring in some dirt. It's the only thing I know to do right now. I'm gonna bring in some dirt and I'm gonna build this up. So in the future, winter time or whatever, this hopefully will stay dry. But you can see this stall over here is relatively dry. It doesn't really have an issue, but they need to move anyway. So that's gonna be our next project. I'm gonna need to move them first so I can get the tractor in here and move that dirt in to get that built up. But we're gonna go in here and eat. We'll be out in a minute. Get ready to move these pigs. All right, we've got this area mowed. Don't like doing that with the zero turn, but until we can get the mower fixed, that's what we needed to do. So here's the plan. Obviously, we want to leave this wallow in here, so I'm gonna take the fence from here and I'm gonna be wrapping it around the wallow just to keep that in so they have access to that. We've got the hose right there, so we can fill that up. We can still use that on their water. This fence here won't be connected. I'm not even gonna put a charge on it. They do respect it. If they end up getting to where they don't, I will electrify that fence. But so we're gonna go around the wallow here. There's the path there. I left the cart there so I know, and then we'll just run it down to meet this other fence. We've got a group of gilts over here. They should be fine because they can't go fence to fence. They're cut off, so they're not gonna be able to touch each other through the fence. But the plan is I'm gonna fill up their feed bowls. Hopefully they'll walk across, and it's gonna take me a little bit longer just because I gotta wrap this wallow around. Honestly don't think they will go anywhere, so we should not have an issue. But this time of year, we're finally getting up into the 80s. These pigs need a wallow or some access to water. They're gonna have the shade under those pine trees over there, so they'll go there. But I also want them to be able to get in their wallow when needed. So, ooh, Henry's flicking his wet tail all over me. What do you think, Betty? You want to keep the wallow? I bet you do. All right, enough talking. Let's get them some feed. We'll give them a little more feed than normal because I want them to be at their bowls for a little bit while I am moving these fences. So let's get it started. All right, guys, love it when a plan comes together. We've been doing this a while now when we're rotating these pigs around these barns, just putting feed in the new spot, a little extra so they take their time and don't start wandering around. Not that this breed ever wanders much, but we've got them fenced in. They're gonna have shade in the pine trees up here. This fence is not charged right now, but they respect it. So for now, it's gonna stay not charged. We will charge this one with Premier One. These are Premier One electric fencing. They send, when you buy a kit, they'll send you these extra posts right here that I've got here. It's gonna save me some space to get around. Obviously, I don't wanna short out my fence on this metal post, so we've got this little post here to keep it off of that fence. Water's gonna be right here. I'll get that water moved over so we can still use the hose. We don't need to bucket anything, which is super nice. And they have a good spot. I'm glad we were able to keep the wallow in here. The pigs are gonna be happy about that. But I'm sure they're gonna find that shade and be laying up underneath those trees. Actually, inside the house is nice and cool as well compared to being out here. But quick look, if you haven't seen the design of our barns, we'll post that video here, but this is just a 16 by 16. These have started working really nicely. We didn't use them as often when we first started because we didn't need pigs. But now that we've got quite a few pigs, we've been using these all summer long and winter too. I'm gonna wait until this dries out, and that will be a job for another day to bring more dirt and build this up a little bit. But they're 8 by 8 stalls, and we're just able to rotate the pigs around each stall. The biggest thing I would suggest if you're thinking about doing something like this, the wood on the walls was huge because the pigs will scratch up on this metal and they can bend that out. So the wood on the outside walls is I would say it's almost a must. The only thing I'd do is probably not build it so tall next time, but we didn't even think about that when we had started. So it's nice to have this option. We've been keeping a boar in this one, a boar over in that one. If you don't want to build a barn like that, you can do pretty much the same thing with a, what do we call those? Pallet shelter. We used to call them quack shacks for the duck, but now they're for the pigs. And we just rotate the pigs around that. There's a little muddy spot right outside the door where they're constantly at, but we can move those fences and just rotate them around. So if you don't have a ton of room, that is an option as well. They'll be here probably 2 or 3 weeks, and then we'll be able to rotate them on to the next one and just continue in a circle around there. So anyway, happy that that project is done. I'm sure they're happy once they finish this extra feed. They will be exploring and checking things out. We have seen one more pig bred for late summer litters. We're gonna take you over there and show you which pig that is. We've got 2 jobs that have kind of been hanging over my head. They're still working, but they're not working great, so I haven't fixed them. Today we're gonna go fix both of those things, and then we're gonna show you the sow that we have seen bred. What you doing, Betty? All right, guys, couple jobs, simple. Like I said, they've just been not broken enough that I needed to fix them, but it's time. This old hose that we have has sprung a leak. The kids have actually enjoyed it running through like a sprinkler on these hot days, so I almost feel bad fixing it, but it's something that needs to be done. Just got this part from Lowe's. You can get them any hardware store to easily fix these things that are broken, but I've been gifted a bunch of hoses, and this one's a little bit older and just needs a little TLC to get it fixed. So we're just gonna slide this in here. Every time I feed in the afternoon, the kids love to run through this sprinkler. So like I said, I almost feel bad fixing this one, but we're gonna get it fixed so we're not just wasting water when it's time to water the animals. And then there's one more even simpler project here at the other pigs we've got. All right, like I said, this last project is even easier than the other one. We spent all that time putting water lines in so we didn't have to carry buckets, and I have just been using a bucket. We're at about 7 feet to the waters, and I've had hoses laying around. So now, for me, it's not a big issue, but for the kids, if they got to move a bucket it's a little bit harder. So now this job is easy for everyone. We can fill up the waters, we can fill up the wallows and use a hose. So kind of a lazy thing that I haven't got that done yet, but now it's done and it's gonna be easier for everybody. Let's head over and see which sow has been bred. Okay, we are over here at the pen. Any guesses on who it is? I'm not gonna keep you waiting, but any guesses? So I came out the other day and we've got Gordon and we've got Josie, and they were breeding. So we are going to have piglets here. You guys remember what it is? 3 months, 3 weeks, 3 days. We will have piglets from Gordon and Josie. Now Gordon just had a litter with Barb, and you've seen all her striped piglets. He does throw some banded babies, so we're excited about that. Josie's had a couple litters here with us already, and it's always nice when you can see what day they've been bred, so you kind of know when to expect your piglets. There's other signs you can look for as it gets closer to help you out if you don't see them breed, but it is always nice to catch them in the act, if you will. So anyway, we've got some of those projects knocked out today, got the chickens moved, got the pigs moved, got a couple jobs that have been just on the back burner, knocked off the list. So it has been good. But I did want to say something real quick before we wrap up this video. I got a call this morning that a friend from college had passed away, and it just kind of broke my heart for him and his family. And we get so busy. We get so busy in all the things we're doing. Everybody's busy, whether it's with work, if you're doing a homestead, if you're your job, if you're a self-employed, everybody is busy. You're toting your kids around to sports or whatever is going on. But I just want to encourage you, you just never know. You never know. So take that time. Most important things, faith, family, friends, take that time to grab your kids and tell them you love them. And it just kind of broke my heart this morning. So just prayers for his family, and make sure when you're in the middle of your busyness that you take the time to call your family, your friends, grab your kids, and just tell them you love them. But anyway, guys, I hope you're encouraged. I hope you're having a great week. Don't forget to make the change, and we will see you on the next video.